Hello everyone, I am Hars. In the previous video, we covered the CUD operation, like how to add, update, delete records in SQL Server, and even perform bulk insertion. If you have not watched it yet, I recommend checking that out first. In today's video, we will focus on pagination and filter. Like we will have the button for next, previous and last and first, and also we have the option to select the number of record per page, and also we have filter option where we can select the column name here and we can type anything here and it will match and filter that employee. We can see I typed TAY, so it showed only name containing the TAY. So now let's jump into the code. Here first I will show changes what I have done here. Last time I have used the observable collection. This time I am using I collection view and I am binding the first column with the ID property of employee, and I am binding this search text box to search text, and also I am using the update source trigger equal to property change, so that whenever we will type the text, then it will call the method. So based on that we can do the filter. So another thing, we have the button here. I use the style flat and then I make the background transparent. Also I have added the tooltip first, and for the symbol like less than I used this because we cannot use directly. We have to use %LT and semicolon for less than and %GT semicolon for greater than. So this is all about the style, and I have binded the command like first page command, previous page command, next page command, last page command, and here I am showing the page information, which is this one. So now first let's see the collection view, how I have created the object. I will go to the employee view model. Let's first go to the property. Here you can see I have created I collection view and I gave the name employee view. And on the creation of employee view model object, I am assigning the employee view with the observable collection using collection view source dot get default view, and I am providing employees observable collection as the parameter. And then here I am adding the filter. I am using I collection view because it has this filter, so we can use this filter predicate to filter our data. So in the filter I assign one method, filter employee. Let's go to this method, and this will take one argument, and here we will check if this argument is employee, because here I have binded the employee, so it will be always the employee, but better to check once and store it empty. If it is not, then we will return it simply false, so we will not get any result. Then we are checking if search text is not null or empty, then return true, means it will show all the record. And also we are checking selected column, which is this one, is column. And then using the switch, here I am using the latest .NET version, which is .NET 10. So I have this switch like this. So here using this selected column, we will add the switch, and here we will see if it is name, then we will compare with the name property with that value, search text value, and I use this string comparison ordinal ignore case. Means if you are writing in any case, it will compare, like it will ignore the case. Similar way I have added for all the column name. For the experience, we have to enter the integer, so I am converting it to int, then I am comparing with the experience. So this is all about the filter. Then we have two methods for the change of this text box and the change of this column name. So when this column name will change, then on selected column change will call, and on this change we will refresh the collection view which we have binded to our data grid. Similarly, we have the on select text change where we will refresh it so that it will load the new filtered data. Go to the pagination. So this is the first page command where I will assign the current page equal to 1, and then I will load the data from the database. For that I have added one method in the I repository. If you see here, this get page async, which will take the page and the page size, like how many data we can get in that page. It will return a tuple which will have the list of employee count, and how many employee we have to skip. Here we'll use link queue like take and skip. So now let's go to employee repository implementation, and let's see, this is the implementation method where I am first creating the data context object, and then I am using edge node tracking. For the performance we have to use edge node tracking, so it will not track. Then I am getting the count of the employee, total employee. Then here I am checking page into page size greater than total count, then we will skip max of total count minus page size. If it is less than equal to, then we will skip page minus 1 into page size, and then we will use link queue. So using query, we will skip this will skip this many data, and then we will take the page size, like whatever we have selected, that many data I will take, and then use the toList async, and then here I will return a tuple like this data and the total count and the skip. So we will see the use of this skip in our view model. So go to view model, and here what I am doing, I am clearing the observable collection, then I am adding the current result, and as it is tuple, so we have to use whatever I am using here. If you see here, I am assigning to employee, so we can access using employee all the employee list, and then add to the observable collection and refresh the collection view, this one. So it will load with the current data, and then using total employee, I will take the total count and total page we have to calculate using this method, total count divided by selected page size. Then we will update the page info, which is this one. Here I will pass the total count and the skip. Let's go to the implementation. So if total count is 0, then I will show page info as 0 of 0 records. Otherwise, I will start with current skip plus 1 and then end with minimum of current skip plus selected page size and total count. So which is minimum between these two, that will be the end. So then we will use the start, end and total count here, and then we can see it here. This is string formatter that I have used here. Now this is the page info method, update page info method, and this is load data method. Now let's go to the button command. This is implementation of first page, and if you observe here, I am using can execute. Based on this, can go previous. So if you go to this method, I am checking if current page greater than 1, then this method will execute. Otherwise, if it is less than, then this first button will be disabled. Let's see it. Now if you can see, these two buttons are disabled. Why? Because in previous page also I am checking the same thing, can go previous. That's why it is disabled. In the previous page command, I am using if current page greater than 1, then decrease the current page and then load this, call the load data, which I already showed you. For the next page, we have this can execute. Here we will see, here we are checking if current page less than total page size, then only it will be enabled. Like if you see here, over here, I will click on last, now it is disabled. And in the next page command, I am using if current page is less than total page, then increase the current page and load the data according to this current page and total page. Same in the last page, I am using can go next method to enable and disable the last button. And then here I am assigning current page to total pages, then load it. This is the implementation of all these buttons. Now if you see, I have one method on selected page size, which is nothing but if you select it, then this method will call and then we will load it. On current page change also we have method notify can execute. So here we will notify all the command if this total page value is changed. If total page value changed or if current page value changed, so I will notify all the command and then it will call this can execute or it will load the data according to the condition. So this is how we can perform the pagination and filter. Now let's see. So I will remove it, and currently I have selected 30, so we are getting, if you see here, we are getting 30 element. If you select 10, you will get 10 element, and if you want to filter, let's select all, and I will say main. So manager role only we can see here. If you select 20, so all the manager will be visible here, which is part of this 20 employee data. Like this, if you select experience, you have to pass the integer. I have not added any error message to show. So let's select 2 and see only 1 employee with experience 2. Let's check 3. We have 1 employee. I hope you learn how to perform the pagination and how to add the filter in our application. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, let's share this video with your friends.